Now, entrepreneurship can be mentally and physically taxing. The journey can be a lonely and challenging one, and many who brave this path could face mental health issues. Joining me now to discuss the challenges facing entrepreneurs is Siyasiza Business Funds founder, Gabriel Mokwana. Gabriel, thank you for making time. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, it's been tough for entrepreneurs, right, over the last year. And many people have been affected by COVID-19.
Yeah.
Mental challenges have been one of the issues, and entrepreneurs are not immune from that.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me once again, and good afternoon to the listeners, to the viewers at home. I'd like to start off by saying I came across a very interesting, report that it has been noted that 49% of entrepreneurs are currently living with mental illness condition in their lives. And as entrepreneurs, of course, we live by the traditional sermon that says, no pain, no gain, correct? And this has obviously been internalized from advices of which we've got from our elders. And therefore, we have sort of believed that success is measured by a specific quantitative result. So you have to have something in order for you to be seen out there. I'd like to say that there was also something very interesting that I came across, and they say that most of the entrepreneurs, or actually the road to the top is quite lonely, but more or less when you're at the bottom. Now, we could both agree that during COVID, during last year, most of us, especially entrepreneurs, have been forced to work from home, with online meetings, and that has sort of made us live in a bubble. Correct? Now, we can further go on and say that, as humans, we can both agree that as humans, we need human interactions. I normally say to people that humans need tribes like bees need hives, correct? And it is important for us to notice that the cocktail of what has happened for the past 2 years, especially during COVID, has had an impact, and most importantly, on entrepreneurs, correct? After losing out on so many revenues, we have therefore became very susceptible to mental illness.
How do we raise awareness, though, so that entrepreneurs know that they don't have to, just struggle, and when they're facing mental health challenges, they're not thinking, it's part of the journey, but they seek the necessary help. And I want you to speak to us about the added responsibility, because often many entrepreneurs are responsible for employees. They've got workers under them. So sometimes when you are struggling, you would think, let me put my problems aside, because I've got people that I need to worry more about. I need to pay their salaries, and we've lost business. But it's important to sit and reflect, because even as an employer, you need to care for yourself and look after your mental health.
Clement, I was having a conversation yesterday. Somebody asked me, how do we help entrepreneurs to sort of not become vulnerable to mental illness? And I said to the person, I think for me, there's two things that's more important. The first thing is, we must have honest conversations, and we must obviously be trustworthy. We must be honest about the stresses that we go through. We must be honest about the stress. We must be honest about the panic attacks. We must be honest about the anxiety that we come across. And that's important, because at the end of the day, we are all human, and we need to be honest about our emotions. We can further go on and say that with people, we both have different we both have different mood variations, correct? So sometimes you're feeling up, you're feeling down. It's normal. I always tell this to entrepreneurs, that if you really want to deal with your mental or condition, you need to understand that competition is not really necessary. The most thing that's most necessary, and I've seen it also through COVID, through last year, when things are really tough, the most important thing is to work on oneself. That's, for me, is very vital. I've currently went to the gym, exercising, eating right. All of those things can also help curb the current condition that most entrepreneurs come across.
And if you've got opportunities to speak to a therapist, and you've got those resources, that's important. What's your message to entrepreneurs that are listening to us now, that are struggling and they don't have anyone to talk to, and they're wondering, could this be a mental challenge, or is it just one of the struggles that entrepreneurs have to go through to get to the top?
You know, something that has helped me for the past 2 years, and it has kept me going, is obviously during COVID, after losing out on a lot of things. I mean, I've had two of my cars. One of my car I had to sell it, another car I had to let it go. You know, there was obviously a lot of my challenges. But I can tell you that there was a secret behind it. And the secret is, the advice of which I could give to entrepreneurs is learn to be honest about your situation to people that can help. Right? I had to go to some of my associates and tell them, guys, it's bad. Right? So being honest about your situation, being honest about your current condition. You might never know that who's going to be there and say, actually, come here, let me give you a helping hand. So honesty and transparency is the way to go.
Yeah, and there's the issue of government support as well, right? On top of the stresses you have about the cutting off of businesses, you're worried about, do I even have the support to pick up my business from scratch?
That's another thing. Yeah, I mean, most businesses during this time, they've, you know, there's been a lot of support or programs from government to say, we'll help you, you know, come out there and give you funds. But the support has not been really, you know, helpful to a lot of SMEs. And I say this because I deal with a lot of SMEs. Now, but I believe that, you know, on that note, I believe that the power is in the hands of the people, correct? And it is by working together that we can all form a recession-proof economy, right? That's why us at Siyasiza Business Fund, we sort of try to sort of set the new standard on, come up to be the new, you know, standard innovation for business financing in the country. So yes, government funding, government support has also contributed to a lot of SMEs, you know, not being right. But also, there's also other avenues of external, you know, people that can also come in and assist you in order for you to come out of that challenge of which you're facing.